Hi, I'm Phil Malto, and welcome to another episode of Snowmobiler Television. Today, I've got the mountain gear on, I've got a mountain sled, and I'm in the mountains. We're doing backcountry riding here in Revelstoke, British Columbia.
STV is sponsored by Yamaha, revs your heart. Kimpex, fueled by fun. And by Skidoo, never stop pushing.
Revelstoke is probably one of the better places around BC to get to the snow and everything else. The mountain ranges and everything else are so much bigger here than everywhere else. I mean, the further you drive, the better terrain you're going to find, so it's always worth it. You can't beat it. Anyone who lives here and complains about it, I don't get, because once you actually get up into the mountains, into some pretty epic terrain, and you can get yourself into some pretty fun stuff. So.
For our backcountry riding here in British Columbia, Skidoo mountain sleds are provided by Great Canadian Snowmobile Tours, and they also provided excellent guides for our 4 days of riding.
I've never felt unsafe. They look after you, they watch you when you start riding, so they kind of get a feel for how good you are, you know, what your skill level is, and then they take you to places that you'll enjoy and be able to ride without getting in over your head.
I said to the guide last night, I thank you, because I got about 90% of the way up. And it's about 90% further than I would have tried if I hadn't been forced to. So, yeah, you really push your boundaries out here. The guys do a good job of, you know, not making you uncomfortable, but making sure that you're having a good time and maybe getting out of your comfort zone a little bit. But that's how you learn and that's how you get better. So.
The draw for a backcountry riding or mountain riding is definitely the freedom for myself. That's what it is. Bringing new people out every week, every weekend, and seeing the expressions, seeing the views alone. When it's a clear day, even when it's not a clear day, the snow is different, the trees are different, the whole landscape is different, but it's just a freedom feeling when you're out here, and your work problems can go away for a little while.
I'm in awe. I can't describe how much every year they lead us into something that is better than last year. It's outstanding. Having ridden in trails for like 15 years, this is everything I'd ever dreamed of and wished we had this back home. I keep coming back. Look around, it's awesome. You don't have conditions like this at home. You can't do half the stuff at home on a sled that you can do on a sled here. It's just a completely different experience.
This year we brought a couple new guys along, and it's always fun to have everybody out here, obviously. And our group actually keeps growing, and I'm actually standing kind of at the back of Frisbee Ridge, so it was kind of nice this year because we got to get back to a place we'd never been before. And it's exciting as always. Beautiful kind of blue skies and awesome snow. Well, look around. I mean, you don't see this in Ontario. Ontario is a beautiful place, but BC is kind of my new second home, I think.
I love it. I think it's absolutely amazing. It's an opportunity for me. It's an opportunity for him. I love working with him, and I especially love riding out here. I like to think that this is also, my dad said before, this is also my second home, and I want to eventually move somewhere just like this because it's just so beautiful, and you can't describe it.
It's the first time. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. You just to see the mountains and the terrain that you encounter. It's nothing like we have at home. So it's just pretty spectacular. To go home now and ride the trails is going to be it'll still be fun, I'm sure. But I think I'll be getting right into the snowmobile, and it's quite an experience.
The scenery you can't beat. I mean, people from all over come right to BC just to see the scenery. I mean, you get up into these mountains and people from out east, the States, Norway, doesn't matter where they're coming from, they go back and that's all they talk about is the scenery. You get up here and you can see for miles. The mountain ranges are pretty unbeatable. It's pretty epic is really the only way to describe it. The best part is coming through a stack of trees and finding an opening or a nice little area that is all untouched snow. The sun shining, you get yourself into a spot that at times you don't think you're going to make it through, and you pull through. It gets your heart going, adrenaline, everything else, and that's for sure the most exciting part about sledding.
You know, lots of different types of riding in the backcountry here. You know, I kind of sum it all up together. For me as a rider, I go out riding, and whatever the conditions are that day is what we'll be doing. If it's a blizzard and you can't see anything, we'll be in the trees trying to do some tech riding through the trees. If it gets sunny, then we'll pop up into the alpine, and you know, all of a sudden there's a good jump. We'll hit the jump, move on to the next spot, do a downhill descent, then we'll hill climb up to like the next zone, and you know, it's just basically there isn't one set of riding. It's just all the same. You're just going whatever's around, and is good at the time is what you do. So it's kind of, you got a lot of choices. It's pretty cool.
This sport in itself is a huge challenge, physically, mentally. I love it. There's nothing like a big blower day. Go out and just spend all day wiping the snow off your goggles, trying to get to a new zone, a new area. You know, I'm very much a type of rider where I'm like, what's over there? So I don't know, just every day is a new day. There's never been a single day in my 14 years of riding that's been the same.
The one thing I think people miss out on is that this is a physical activity. We don't just sit and go. It is a physical activity. And I think it's very frustrating for us, you know, at the end of the day when you're finished riding, how much calories you've exerted and how tired you are. And I think there's a stigma around it that it's a motorized recreation and we're out to, you know, hurt the environment. We're not. We're fighting for these lands and to keep them open for everybody to ride. And that's my biggest passion, is to keep these lands open and everybody be educated, but know that this is pretty demanding physical activity as well. I'm beat at the end of the day.
It's challenging. Like, anyone who comes from out east has never seen any of this terrain. It's technical, it's a workout. You don't see it from the outside looking in, but once you start riding around, getting yourself into a few different lines, not knowing what you're getting yourself into, it gets your adrenaline going and everything else, and that's probably the best part about sledding.
The riding is hard, I would say, very challenging for someone like myself who'd never ridden a snowmobile coming out last year. But this year I've really picked up on it, and it's more fun the more you get to practice and more you get to pick up on it.
Well, the first day I think I buried myself about 10 times, but today so far so good. I haven't got stuck yet, so it takes a little bit of getting used to. But once you get into it, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. You got to throw your body around, but it's interesting. But it's been a blast.
Our backcountry riding happens at the high peaks, but our accommodations and sleds are found at the mountain base. Glacier House Resort once again provided superb accommodations with rooms inside the main lodge, help relax those tired muscles after a long day of powder riding.